Music radio show on the University of Common Sense Radio, and the question is always, are you getting paid or are you getting played? Are you getting paid or are you getting played? Are you getting put out or are you getting put out? Are you getting put out or are you getting bailed out? Old First Energy, are you getting pulled out? Are you getting bailed out? Or are you getting put out? Lord have mercy, people in my hood is getting put out. When they asked First Energy to bail us out for like $80 million. And you know what? We so dumb, we voted on it. And guess what? Lord have mercy. We still paying on it. And we found out that there was one big scheme, one big bribe. When are you going to give us some of our money back, DJ Talking John? Oh, that's right. You don't pay no utilities bill. You one of them fat cats. You one of them mega guys. I got you. But down in the hood, we have to pay utility bills. So the question is, are you getting paid or are you getting paid? Are you getting put out or are you getting bailed out? Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid? Lord have mercy. 216-578. Those are not $2 bills, sir. That's your eyes. Those are $1,000 bills.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
216-578-1490 is the calling number. 216-578-1490 is the calling number. Call, you are live on the air. Go ahead.
This is Big Sheriff calling in representing Maddie B's International Floral Arrangements from 216-990-6580. That's 216-990-6580 for all of your floral needs. I am calling with a special report. Before I give that special report, I do want to at least say that it's all set up now for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, where it will be the Indiana Pacers who beat the New York Knicks 4 games to 2 games, and last night 125-108. Maybe they are for real, because they not only took care of the New York Knicks, but they will face the Oklahoma Thunder this coming Thursday. Is Game 1, followed by Game 2, which will be a week from today, next Sunday. Also, it's all about peaking at the right time as the Cleveland Guardians beat the Los Angeles Angels 42 today, improving their record at 32-26, and in the number 2 spot, the number 2 spot in our division. And also, we know that upcoming in a few minutes is the businessman, Brother Tyrone Poetry. In my perspective, he ran into Brother Art McKoy, business owner from Cleveland and East Cleveland, does music and other things. Will be calling in. But first, this is finally a follow-up to the story that we've been promising for the past few weeks. As a woman who called a black child a slur has raised a backlash, but she raised also thousands of dollars. As a matter of fact, when it comes down to it, the video that showed a Minnesota woman at a playground almost 3 weeks ago openly admitting to using a racist slur against a black child garnered millions of views. Maybe equally viral has been the crowdfunding effort that has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help the woman now relocate her family. The video showed a man in Rochester, a city roughly 90 miles south of Minneapolis, confronts the woman for calling a 5-year-old boy the N-word. The woman doubled down on the racist term and flipped the man off, confronting her. She flipped him off using 2 middle fingers. The woman who couldn't be reached for comment has amassed over $700,000 through Christian fundraising platform Give Send Go for relocation expenses because of threats she received over the video. The fundraising page says she used the word out of frustration because the boy went through her 18-month-old child's diaper bag. That's coming from the Associated Press, but that report hadn't been verified. She said, I called the
All right. So, all right, hold on. You're gonna finish it. So the title of this story is Racism Live and Well in America, in Cleveland, Ohio, in all parts of our country. Is racism, although we know it ain't never went away, but is racism live and well, and is it coming back, or has it always been here stronger than ever? And this news report that Brother Sheriff is referring to is a very good example of y'all pray for me, suburbanites, of a beautiful a Caucasian lady seeing a 5-year-old, y'all listen to me now, 5 years old, happened to be nosy and stuck his hand in the lady's diaper bag, and she said, "Oh, you no good 5-year-old Naja." Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for me. You no good. We got a party. And say, and I mean every word of it. Now, continue the story, brother. Y'all listen in, suburbanites, Lyndhurst, Pepper Pike, Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, all over. Come on, give the rest of the story. Is racism well and live in this city? Wait 1 minute. DJ Talking John. Where did he go?
He's not right.
I'm so glad he's not, because I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm looking at the studio and I don't like the way it looks. I want my studio clean when I come in here. DJ Talking John, you ran off. Go ahead with the story.
The flurry of monetary contributions.
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 minute, sir. I got you. So you're telling me that the young man, I know this is what you're saying without even hearing the story. So the young man that this young lady just completely used all these derogatory remarks. So listen to me, and then you finish it. So I'm just assuming. I just know this got to be the way it is. So the young man who got called all these names, the 5-year-old, I know that the general public just raised millions of dollars for him. Then they go read the story. Hey, DJ Talking John, I'm glad you back. Next time I come to my studio and it's dirty like this, you're fired. I don't care whose fault it is. Come on with the story.
Makes sense. Flurry of monetary contributions reignited multiple debates from whether racist language and attacks are becoming more permissible to the differences between cancel culture and consequence culture. Many want to see the woman face some sort of comeuppance for using a slur, especially toward a child. Others say, despite her words, she doesn't deserve to be harassed. The NAACP Rochester chapter started its own fundraising campaign for the child's family. The GoFundMe page had raised $340,000.
Oh, okay, all right. Hold that right there. So this was after. Now I know I'm not hearing this right. You mean this fundraiser for the kid came up after the suburbanite who slurred the kids? How much did they give? Who gave her that money?
$340,000 from people going to the NAACP Rochester.
No. You're missing my point.
The young lady, who gave her the money through this religious financial platform?
Okay. The Christian fundraising platform, Give, Send, Go.
And they,
one word.
How much did they give her? How much did they raise for?
700,000 plus.
For using those derogatory against and I listen, I don't mean no harm when I say this, DJ Talking John, but the way a black person say the N-word and the way a suburbanite say the N-word, it's so different. The suburbanite say, oh, you know, it's so nasty. Oh, go ahead with the conversation, man. Let me leave this alone. Go ahead.
And so it was closed about 3 Saturdays ago on behalf of the family who wanted privacy for the child, their child who was called the N-word.
All right, so we're going to hold that story right there. as we, because my phone lines are lighting up and people coming all marching all outside. I don't know what they're doing. So we're going to break this conversation up right now, and we're going to go straight. This is 1490 WERE. Billy Sharp is going to come in with the news. We're going to break this up because I got to see what all those people are outside for. Go right ahead. Billy Sharp and the news.
All right, this is the Weekend Headline News. Weekend Headline News is sponsored by Billy Sharp Omni Media. Billy Sharp Omni Media is hosting Boss Moves, How to Become an Entrepreneur 101. The event will be held at the East Cleveland Library Saturday, July 12th. Doors will open at 10:30. For more information, contact or email rather, billyl.sharp2015@gmail.com. This is your Weekend Headline News. Thunderstorms hit Kentucky. Again, massive tornadoes. 1,700 people are displaced. Wow. It is really, really bad. Elon Musk set to leave, well, he already left. Elon Musk leaves the Trump administration after his 130-day tenure as the head of Doge. That happened this week. Also breaking, East Cleveland Mayor Brandon King found guilty of 10 of 12 criminal convictions. All right, and we want you to stay tuned. We got a new segment this week. It's called Top Chat of the Week. Top Chat of the Week is we'll focus on one story that everybody's been chatting about all week. Lester Holt steps away from the nightly news. His last show was this past Friday, May 30th. Wow. He'll step away from that broadcast to have a fuller presence on Dateline. As Big Sheriff alluded to, when I was leaving my house, the score for the Cleveland Guardians versus the Angels was 4-0, and Cleveland was up. So now you know they won 4-2. So good job on them. This is your 6-day forecast. Monday, sunny, high 68, low 60. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Sun is out though, high 78. Low 69. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 82 is going to be hot. High 82, low 67. Thursday, partly cloudy with some rain, high 71, low 64. Friday, partly cloudy with rain, high 67, low 63. And Saturday, partly cloudy, no rain, sun will be out, high 69, low 62. Again, this is your Weekend Headline News. Weekend Headline News is sponsored by Billy Sharp Omni Media, who will be hosting Boss Moves, How to Be an Entrepreneur 101, taking place at the East Cleveland Library on Saturday, July 12th. Doors will open at 10:30. For more information, email us at billyl.sharp2015@gmail.com.
Lord have mercy, DJ Talking John and them, they're still out there trying to figure out who all these people are that's coming around at this report. We'll get back to it. Verse, what? We'll get to the bottom of it. But right now, we're going to go back to the conversation very shortly about is racism live and well in America, and what's your thoughts on the story that the sheriff is on so hot. And that question is the young lady that called the 5-year-old the worst word in history, and the Christian group gave her $1 million down there. But right now, before you go into that, Billy Sharp, I got to talk to you for a minute about your news report. Do you have a flyer? You had one last week. I lost it. They've been asking me about it. Do you have a flyer on the business report, on the business seminar that you have? Because I think it's very important, because it is very important for if we in our community is going to come up, we need to know about business, get in business, and it's a way to come up. And so I think that's a very important seminar that you're having. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Okay, so we got some special guests that we brought in, some friends of mine. Laura Cowan, who has the Lifetime movie, Girl in the Garage. We have Jeffrey Ledwidge, who is owner of a McDonald's franchise and a foundation owner, or founder rather, and then Waverly Willis, who owns some barbershops in the area, and myself. So it started kind of, I do hiring for McDonald's, so I interview young people all the time, and I ask them where they're going to be in 5 years. And the comment is always, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't leave it there. I sort of probe a bit more. Well, what's going to be your business? Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. I always ask, are you going to go for further education? That question is almost always a no, because they don't have or know what what we call the back of the house is. That is the financials that you need. We're going to talk about in this seminar the mental barriers from wanting to be an entrepreneur. How do you get started? How do you get over those mental barriers? What does the back of the house look like? The dedication that it takes to become an entrepreneur. We're going to highlight those things. We're not even going to talk about money and what people make.
All right, okay. Very, very interesting, Billy. Man, I hope you have a full house and a great entrepreneur in this subject.
Well, you're going to be there.
I'm gonna be there for sure. What was the second story you did?
The second story was Elon Musk leaves the Trump administration. He was the head of Doge. He is the billionaire Tesla owner. All
right. That second story, I'm not interested in that so much. What was the second story? The next story, sir.
The East Cleveland mayor, Brandon King, was found guilty of 10 of 12 charges.
Listen, in the second hour, we will deal a lot with East Cleveland. I want to talk to the East Cleveland residents in particular, and we're going to break this trial down whereby East Cleveland suspended Mayor Brandon King was found guilty, and also former council member Ernie Smith was found guilty. I was in the courtroom, and we'll give a breakdown on that. What was your next story, sir?
The next story was Lester Holt steps down from 10 years of hosting the nightly news.
Guess what, Billy Sharp? The last show I saw with Lester Holt was when we left here on last Sunday, Sunday night. I'm watching Lester Holt, and what's he stepped down to do? What program?
He's gonna do a more prominent role on Dateline.
Dateline,
which he's already a part of, but I'm assuming he's
he's great on it. But let me tell you about this. You perked my attention because last Sunday when I got home, I was watching Dateline. And I usually don't watch it. I need you to move around, son. Don't just sit still. I was watching it, and I usually don't catch it, but I watched it, and it was talking about a young lady that was murdered on right off Superior Avenue, where my first barbershop was, New York Barbershop. And the person, I said, wow, this is familiar territory. And as they told the story, I saw a lady, I think that was Gloria Porter's grandmother, and they was talking about how they unveiled the story.
Gloria Porter's mother.
Gloria's Porter's mother. Gloria's Porter's grandmother. Yvonne Porter was Gloria Porter's mother.
Right.
You got me? Okay,
yes,
all right. So things will become to get familiar, and then I was looking at the scene of where the school, junior high school was, Harry Davis, that she walked from, and then I got intense on it. And Lester Holt can tell a story real good, and Lord have mercy, and behold, there was Yvonne Porter telling a story about her daughter, Gloria Porter, and how this incident happened and unfold, and it took me back. Don't worry about the phone. We'll get the phone. It took me back to when I was your age, Billy Sharp, or around. I just got out of the Army. I was around 24 years old. In that 23, 24 years old, an activist already, and one of the first actions that I took was because we used to see Gloria Porter walk past the barbershop all the time, a young lady going to school, and when she came up missing, of course we were alarmed, the whole community was alarmed, and I knocked on Yvonne Porter's door. Knock, knock, knock. She came to the door, and from that point on, to make a long story short, I was involved with the saga of Yvonne Porter, Gloria Porter, and that whole family. And and as I watched it, what made this story so courageous was that what a hero, what a shero she was, because after all these years, about 30 years, She never gave up. We never gave up. And they were smart enough when DNA started coming around. They said, I want this in the DNA bank. And they came up with a hit. They came out with the fella that had killed her all these years, brought him to justice. Yvonne said she didn't want him to die, but she wanted to do what he had to do. And it was just an amazing story. So the point I'm bringing in this whole story right here is this. I was traumatized from the time I didn't realize how traumatized I was at 24 years old, and I carried that burden all the way to the age I am now. So one day, I know you and Yvonne is close. One day I want you get Yvonne in the studio, because Yvonne gonna have to counsel me and heal me. I'm not healed from that. So and that story just reawakened the whole incident. All right.
Let's have you join the conversation. 216-578-1490 is the calling number. 216-578-1490 is the calling number. Caller, you are live on the air. Go ahead. You live on the air. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, you live on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, guys? What's going on?
I'm doing fine, sir. I'm doing fine, sir. We were talking. See, that's where you mix apples with oranges, Billy Sharp. But it's okay. We were talking about racism live in America. But I understand you want to do something special on the show. Who are you?
My first name is Tyrone. Last name Pimp is the acronym that stands for Poetry in My Perspective. I'm a local artist here in Cleveland.
All right, okay, and there's something that you wanted to do for my millions of listeners. Something you wanted to say?
Actually, I just wanted to chime in and let guys know that we have a new company here. It's called Came From Nothing Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
And I was sitting here just listening to you guys' conversation, and the topic of racism is really interesting to me here. My opinion is simple. Racism is alive and well here. A lot of people need to change their perspective on it. What I mean by that is you have to accept it to the point that, okay, we know we're not being treated fairly in the workplace and a lot of things like that. But in some cases we are. Let me see, I want to word this gently. We have to stop trying to defame everyone and blame everyone for our problems in some situations, and that accept, like, me personally, if I have a job and I'm being promoted as everyone else is, or being treated fairly at that work spot, I'm really okay if I'm not invited to a personal venue or you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be invited to the cookout or whatever the case may be. As long as I'm treated fairly, because, it's been that way forever here, man.
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you loud and clear.
Yeah, it's been that way forever, and at some point, you just have to accept it, and I'm almost to the point that I'm okay with segregation.
And so what I hear you saying is that we have to accept the fact that just some races don't want to be with us or around us.
Yeah, this is what I was told in the Army, basic training, Fort Leonard, Missouri. By my drill sergeant. He told me that, hey, racism is okay. There's nothing but a preformed opinion. I can't make a person prefer to be around me any more than I can make a person prefer mayo on their sandwich. It's a choice. It's a personal choice. So as long as I'm being treated fairly in the world, I don't mind if your personal choice in life is not to be around me, because more than likely I'm choosing to be around my own kind anyway.
Well, I think the issue is when most of us have with it is when racism becomes a threat to us. So it's not only that I don't want to be around you, but then I want to stop you from certain privileges. That's when it goes over the bar.
Well, so that's not racism, that's prejudice. And that's a big problem. But at the same time, we're all inherently prejudiced to some degree, like I know I am. It's just prejudging.
So do you a good point of view. So do you let me ask you this question. Who do you think simple question, who do you think are the most racist people, suburbanites or black people?
Honestly, I think we as black people pay more attention to race in this country, and it's only because we have to.
I'm trying to. I only got a 5th grade education. I'm not a college graduate like Billy Sharp. So, are you saying that black people are more racist than suburbanites? Yes or no?
That's not. I can't give you a yes or no. I can give you my.
Well, I can give you a yes or no. In my opinion.
Okay.
Suburbanites is 90% more racist than black people. Black people are loving people. If we weren't loving, we wouldn't be still loving.
But does your theory factor in that there are some black people that live in suburban areas? Like you can't, when you say suburbanites,
listen, Billy Sharp, you got to be smart enough because my millions of listeners know that when I say suburbanites, they know what I'm really saying. I'm just using a technical term that softens the issue. You understand? Now when I say suburbanites, really I'm really talking more about the white race, black race, but I'm softening it up. So you have to interpret this as my millions of listeners do. They know when I say suburbanites what I'm talking about. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. All right. You understand? It's a white and black issue. The lady that when we go back to the Porter story of the suburbanite. Yeah, you understand what a suburbanite is now, right? All right, a suburbanite, a grown woman, a 5-year-old, a black child, reached in her diaper bag and she took it like all black people are thieves and robbers, even this black child, and she called him the worst N-word in the world, stuck her fingers up and say, that's how y'all is. And because of that, a Christian organization raised her $700,000 or $100,000 and say she was right. And listen, if my millions of listeners don't understand that black people are the most loving people in the world, if we weren't the hell that we've been through, we wouldn't keep loving on you.
Yeah, my opinion is that I think that we as black people, especially young black men, we have to be more aware of racial issues than anyone in the world, especially in this country. Like when I walk into the room as a black male, as opposed to a white male walking in the room, there's never a thought in that white guy's mind that, hey, I'm the only, like I'm at a disadvantage in this room for the most part. Because, when I walk into the room as the only black person, I know that I have to be a certain type of way.
I understand what you're saying, and Billy Sharp, by him being a business person, he agrees with you a lot on that issue. I was talking more on the area of systemic racism but I understand exactly where you all is. It all plays a part. But if I might interrupt the conversation, my lines are lighting up. If I might interrupt your conversation for a moment, because you said that you're a poet, right?
I'm an artist.
You're an artist, and so tell us a little bit about your artistry.
I mean, man, I'm from Mississippi originally. Hollandale, Mississippi. I came to Cleveland some years ago.
You ever heard of the hanging tree?
Yes, I have heard of the hanging tree. Okay,
go ahead. They had a lot of them in Mississippi. Go ahead, man. No, I'm drifting. Go ahead.
So right now I have a group of artists under me, probably about 4 young men, ages 13 to 19. We do great music. If you want to see what we're doing, you can actually look me up on YouTube. Just under Tyrone Pimp. Pimp is an acronym that stands for Poetry in My Perspective. The reason being, when I write about something, is either I lived it or I observed it, but it's my opinion. So
spell that last Tyrone what? Spell it.
P-I-M-P.
Okay.
Well, Tyrone, since you mentioned the business that you have, we are doing a seminar in East Cleveland. We want to invite you and the young men that you mentor to that seminar. It is Boss Moves: How to Be an Entrepreneur 101, where we're having a conversation of how the beginnings of that look. So we have some special guests come to the room, some keynote speakers. So we want to invite you to the event. That's in East Cleveland. It'll be July the 12th. Doors open at 10 a.m. So we want to extend that invitation to you.
Hey, definitely, we'll be there.
So and he's also extending the invitation to your young men because he really want to teach them. So please bring. Am I overspeaking myself, Billy?
No, that's correct. That's who I was trying to get to. Because our target audience is young men, age 16 to 21. But the 13-year-old, I mean, if they already have a talent, they need to know it too. Because what we find is our young people don't know their business inside and out. Yes, you can bounce a ball, but do you know how to sign the contract? Yes, you can rap, but do you know how to sign that contract? What does it take for you to get your royalties, that sort of thing? So we be talking about that.
Definitely. That's a great conversation to have. Like, a lot of the guys are, tapped in with ASCAP and BMI.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone outside of me, the weirdest thing, man, about my camp is that I'm the only one that can't record itself.
Mm-hmm.
The 13-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, I kind of made it mandatory because I don't like to be bothered with phone calls that really have nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I found was I was still getting a lot of calls for the engineer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they would call, like, hey, how you doing today? Have you seen the engineer?
Mm-hmm.
So after about the 50th call of that, I just made everybody just learn to do it themselves.
This is where that sort of came from. I was a manager at Taco Bell, and there was a guy who had a rap group, and he asked me to look over his contract before he signed it. And in the fine print in the contract, it said that the company that was signing them would have all the rights to music that was sold overseas, and they would get none of the residuals. That was in the fine print. They had not read that. I said, you definitely don't sign this contract because in music, you could be bupkis in the United States, but sell millions of dollars overseas. And based on this contract, you won't get anything. So that's one of the reasons why I focus on that. But go ahead.
That's great. I turned down $2 million last year. I could send you the article, man. There's a lot of stuff, like people don't need, a lot of stuff, it is what it is. As long as you're smart enough to know it, like, they can change one word in the entire, you can have an identical contract and they can change one word.
Right.
They can take the word gross and replace it with net.
Right. And that's a big difference. Yeah.
They can be like, we need 50% of your gross.
Yeah.
That's basically, or they can say we need 50% of your net.
Right.
If you don't know the difference, bro, you're in a world of hurt. It's just like with me, I don't even mind signing the standard contract, which is like one of those contracts they gave TLC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I know that there's certain clauses I can put in there to protect myself.
Right. And some don't understand that sometimes it's better to wait to get your money than get it up front. Sometimes it's better to get it up front than wait. It's the risk and how much you believe in your talent. So those are the type of things, I'm glad you bring it up. Those are the type of things that we'll be talking about. I want to transition real quick because I want to get his take on the top chat of the week. So this segment is a new segment. It's where we pick in one story that people just chatting about all week. So the story this week is the Sean Puffy Combs trial. As you know, that Sean Puffy Combs is on trial for, what is it? I think it's four felonies. Racketeering, yes. Yeah, racketeering is one of them. We are in day, as of Friday, we were in day 13. Maya testified. The trial is moving along. So, I want to start with you, and then I'll go to the caller. What is your take on our hot chat of the week?
Man, my hot chat of the week with this story is that is it going to be bigger than OJ's? OJ,
I don't think it is.
I don't either. But
it would have been. We're in week 13. We're in day 13 rather. It would have been there already.
Yeah,
I don't think it's as big.
Trump will pardon him.
That was the other part of the conversation. Two people were chatting about all week with Trump giving out all these pardons to socialites. Will he ultimately pardon? And it was they said it on the news. Would Trump give Sean Combs a pardon at the end of this thing? What do you think?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. But it's very interesting because President Trump did. And I'll allude to that story later. He did give a rapper
that was convicted of murder. I think was one of the charges.
I'm not sure that I'll pull it up, but he did pardon him, and he's been pardoned. But I think the backlash behind him pardoning we'll see, but you never know.
He tends to do what he wants to do. So, Tyrone, what's your take on the top chat of the week?
Okay, me personally, and this was just, I was up at like 4:30 this morning on YouTube, and I got a chance to see Donald Trump actually speaking about that very topic, and he said that he would not rule that out.
Yeah,
he said the puppy reached out to him. He said, even though I haven't talked to him in years, he said, I would not, rule that out. One thing that man is a businessman. If there's some way that he can see moving forward in life to where Sean Combs could do something for him, then I think he would.
Mm-hmm.
Now, secondly, I saw something on TMZ where Cassie, they introduced some text messages to the court.
Mm-hmm.
And she was texting Diddy saying, hey, I can't wait until we have another free fall.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be some personal accountability. What I really think, and I will be honest, my honest opinion is that after years of doing what she did with him, she just had a hell of an exit plan now.
And then the young lady Maya, the same thing. There were messages that she sent or love letter something saying through that whole time that she loved him and all that. And yes, I do understand about the trauma and all of that stuff, but people are now beginning to make the argument, people are beginning to make the argument. I'm not going to go too far into that because then I'll have my social media inundated with, oh, you criticize it. And I don't want to, because that's not my intent, but I think,
anything. It's just,
right.
You're looking at facts. If you're looking at facts in the court of law, you have to have what's called a reasonable doubt, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to establish right now. And those text messages do give me some pause in the situation. Like, wait a minute.
And somebody, I think it was Bill Maher on his show Friday, said, we should believe women as they come forward, but in the backside of it, we have to look at the evidence, look at the entire story. So don't deny somebody because they make an allegation. Take the allegation seriously, but do the due diligence to run the story down.
And then, to me, your credibility is shot if your very first move was to ask for $10 million.
Hey, I'm letting
It was your very first move. There was no legal, there was no criminal.
So
she was just like, hey, give me $10 million, I'll go away.
So thank you for your phone call. Before we let you go, I want you and Billy to both remember that he is charged under the RICO Act, which probably maybe shouldn't have, but and those charges are so difficult to beat till it would take a great lawyers like he has to beat it, because other than that, you're stuck. Because it's 100 charges.
I'm glad you bring that up, that he's under the RICO statute. They do that because of the interstate stuff that he did, and then different people being involved. So it's a sort of racketeering type thing. Those are rarely, but when they do bring them, they do believe that when they bring those kind of charges that they have you.
No, they want to stick you.
Right.
Okay.
If you go under RICO.
Has there ever been another case in history where an individual who was on a RICO case had no co-defendants?
I would think so. I would think so. But I'm not sure. It's a very sticky case, and you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. In as far as our conversation is concerned, but so it'd be very interesting to follow up on. Listen, I gotta let you go, but I want to give you the last word on anything that you might want to say.
All of you guys can follow me on Instagram at Tyron_Temp. Again, that's answer poetry in my perspective. We have a great project coming out at the end of June called Came From Nothing. Definitely enjoyed the conversation today, Mr. McKoy. And no, nothing else for me to say right now.
Okay, so as I let you go, could you give me just an excerpt or a couple lines from I Came From Nothing?
An excerpt, okay, as far as like what came from nothing, the meaning?
Just give my million listeners something to look forward to.
Okay, Came From Nothing right now. We have a young man by the name of Ace Gloom Blue out of East Cleveland.
Hey, ask him if he has
song out right now
any stuff on YouTube or Bandcamp that I can play.
It's the name of the song. A real positive song. He's a real positive guy. Also, we have Young Spaz, who's 15 years old. He has one called Sleepless Night. It's a really great song. You guys just stay tuned, man. We really want to represent for the city.
All right.
Last year I had the opportunity to turn down 2 contracts, each worth $1 million. So I got offered last week. They sent me over a read-only contract from Atlantic Records.
Oh, beautiful, brother. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you at where, Billy Sharp?
At the Boss Moves, How to Be an Entrepreneur 101. That'll be in the East Cleveland Library on July 12th. Doors open at 10 a.m. And we'll be happy to see you there.
All right. Thank you for your phone call, sir.
Thank you, guys. Mr. Sharp, it was a pleasure.
All right. I want you to do me a favor. Hold on. And I want you to talk to Talking John. He's trying to look up some of your music on YouTube. Okay? All right. So hold the line.
All right. The sheriff, are you still there? I lost you.
No, Big Sheriff gone.
Big Sheriff gone. Okay, because I wanted to do a follow-up on, that's why I didn't want to leave him while he was there, because I wanted trying to finish this story, and I cannot finish it in part. All right, 216-578-1490, 216-578-1490. The question is, I'm deep into this story of, is racism live and well are getting really stronger and stronger in America, particularly when it comes to the black community. It's very interesting. Look like it's I was thinking that I was born. When I was born about, me and my son was looking this up. I was born about 30 years out of slavery.
About 40, 35.
About 35, 40 years out of slavery. So it's a very important subject to me. If you have any comments on it, 216-578-1490, 216-578-1490. If you don't have a copy of my book, Surviving to Serve, Surviving to Serve, you need to get a copy because it's hot on the shelves. Amazon, Noble Books, but particularly Amazon, or you can get a personal copy from me, Surviving to Serve. Lord have mercy, one of the hottest books out. Get your copy on Amazon and get in touch with me and get it. It's Surviving to Serve. It's the life of service and survival by Art McKoy. Get your copy at Amazon soon, or when you see me at a book signing, come on and get your book today.
Okay, we got about 7 minutes. Do you want to get into the third story in Weekend Headline News, or you want to wait until we come back?
We can get into it if you like.
All right, so I'm bringing it back to you. This the third story was East Cleveland's suspended Mayor Brandon King was found guilty by a jury of his peers 10 of the 12 charges that he faced.
All right.
From what I understand, and I saw it everywhere, you were front and center. They grabbed you for comments, so you were in the room. So now we're gonna hear it from the person that was in the room.
Well, not only was I in the room for the sentencing, but I was in the room during the trial. And the reason I was in the room was simply because I wanted to observe what was going on. I'm a long-time resident, long-time business person in East Cleveland, know all about the police, the politics, and all of that. So I wanted to see for myself what was going on. And it was very interesting to me when I first realized that the prosecution had offered Brandon King a deal. And it was a sweet deal. And for a prosecutor that said they wanted to end corruption and everything was so corrupt, for them to offer him a sweet deal, I couldn't quite figure that out. And the sweet deal that they offered him was that, hey, if he say he wasn't going to run for mayor for 7 years, they would drop all the charges except 2, which were minor charges. One of them was a 4th-degree felon, which was accepting an illegal contract, which wasn't for that much money, and the other one was for something similar to that. So if he would have accepted a 4th-degree felon, and he would have been able to walk out of the courtroom without no trial, over, bye-bye. But he chose not to do that. He chose to stand up. I don't know many people that would stand up, but there are a few people that stand up and say no. And same thing with Ernest Smith, a former council person. He was only charged with over the 4 years that he was in office, he had a city car, and he was accused of racking up about $6,000 worth of a gas bill on the car, and that was his charge. And all he had to do, and he was offered a sweet deal also, all he had to do was say, hey, Mayor Brandon King gave me the car. That was one of the other charges that they put on Mayor Brandon King, that he let Councilman Smith use the car. So it said, if Smith, if you just say that Mayor Brandon King gave you the car and you want to pay this little restitution or get on probation, you can walk out the courtroom. Ironically, he said no. He said, I'm innocent too. So they both went to trial, and you know that when you say no to the prosecution, they say, well, we're going to slam you, okay? So the trial, so I went to trial, so I'm watching it. And as I watched it, just on the curious side, but the second day of trial, it became very interesting to me because when I went in the courtroom, the first person I saw on the stand was Dr. Patricia Hoviak, a member of the East Cleveland Council, who had been fighting with Brandon King, the mayor, for all the time she's on the bench, and they've tried to retrial him a couple of times. So I'm looking at it, very interesting. And then after that, another person came on trial, came in testimony, Justin Anderson. Justin Anderson, a brilliant young man, who I remember when he first got into politics in East Cleveland. He was a Democrat and one of the young Democrats, and promising young man, and brilliant. But somewhere down the line, his politics seemed like it got a little screwed up, and the third person I saw in the hallway. The third person I saw in the hallway was no other that was going to testify against Brother King, was Eric Brewer himself, former East Cleveland mayor, embassy of that mayor position, always wanted to get back in it and would do anything to get back in it. So I just watched this soap opera develop. It was almost like if I was at a East Cleveland City Council meeting, only this was in the courtroom, playing out all over again. So it was very interesting to me.
The news picked up on your saying that you've been saying that this was a political trial. So that they definitely picked up on that statement that you made. Listen,
dude, listen. If you really look at the facts, and I'll be shortly, the fact that they charged him with someone had rented his building that wasn't in his name, but for a domestic violence program, paying him a small amount of money a year, a chump change in real money. I understand, but another small charge. So in reality, when you saw those people on the stand, you saw this was politics all over again. Listen, I'm not again, Billy Sharp, I'm not trying to defend or take up anyone, but to me, it was all the way a political trial, and they wanted. They've been trying to get Brandon King off the bench. They finally got him off there, and the amazing thing about it to me is that these two young men, they shot crap, and they lost. So
I was really interested in your perspective on that specifically, because last week our conversation was around. You felt really passionate about that he was rolling the dice in his innocence, but this is what you're saying. In the deal that they offered, and I think, again, I told you last week, I think that's an appropriate deal for somebody as a prosecutor that you believe broken the laws. You don't want them in that position, at least for as long as you can keep them out of it. So I think that was an appropriate deal, but he could have said, okay, I'll take that, walk out, just not be mayor, and keep it moving. Now, in your opinion, what are the chances you believe, now that he's been found guilty, that he's going to appeal, be successful in that appeal, and then get back into the mayor's seat?
0 to none. 0 to none. Listen. He's been the mayor since 2016.
Is that a record for recent mayors in the last 10 years?
He's been there for a while, and so his time was near anyway. So it's 0 to none that he'll particularly now with and so they're going to possibly give him some time.
Whereas
Most
if he
likely.
would've- see, you bring up a good point. I'm glad I asked you that. Whereas if he would have said okay and walked away from it, you're right. Your tenure, what would you have? Maybe another year.
It was over anyway.
You see what I'm saying? But I don't want to do it because I understand if he really truly believes he's not guilty, then I get it. But I mean, there are some things that were against the law. But let me not go there. I want to say this too. So East Cleveland is not necessarily out of trouble because now we may be heading to court again because the interim mayor, according to the council president, should vacate and then he become mayor. I personally agree with the council president that according to the charter, the decision for the judge to put an interim in, okay, but at some point the council president should be mayor because that's what the charter said. But she's indicated she is not stepping down.
Well, I agree with you 100%. But listen, this whole situation is more powerful than those little council people.
I like that
and that little mayor.
The city of East Cleveland is bigger than that.
It's city of East Cleveland bigger than that, and the powers to be says that the interim mayor, we're backing her, and we're not going to change. And so you're right. There might be a court battle blooming, but
when is the next mayor's race?
It's coming up in November.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So what is the? We'll talk about it later. That doesn't make any sense then.
Lord have mercy. All
so
right.
She's just gonna stay until.
Lord have mercy. Play that country music. Let's get out of here talking, John. Listen. One thing I want you to know. I talked a lot this particular segment, but I want you all to call in. I want you all to be the top part of the show. Call in with any comments that you might have. And I guarantee you, we'll be right back. Billy Sharp would love to take phone calls.
216-578-1490. That's how you join the conversation. 216-578-1490. We'll be right back after this break.
Okay, I'm back there, you out there.
You can't get in without me, but I got to go up there. And we ain't got no key. And I need the key.
You see, it was a big program.